I'm back with another section of the whole, the entire self. Keeping myself safe and sovereign and in a place of verse. Seven Bomar was talking about the duality of servant versus master, and most of us have a servant mentality, and that position is supposed to be one of humility, and that's supposed to be a good thing, but we aren't paying ourselves very well, or our master isn't. Anytime you leave such a big head and opening for someone to feel, the world will feel it if nothing else. Becomes a gaping hole. And so, like the constellation of Virgo, they say that ignorance is bliss, but looking at the constellation, it would appear that Mary, the Virgo, the Virgin, has no head. And so you can look at that as being carefree or headless. How can she process? Her trust is in God. You might would call that an airhead, bringing a different aspect to that. So I'm integrating and incorporating a airhead mentality so that God can blow through my mind with a clear picture and imagination of good things, good tidings. The ebb and flow is pure. Do not let what goes on the outside of the world, the cup, to affect what's going on in the inside. And so my waters run pure. This is the age of Aquarius. We are pouring the fish back into the sea. We are letting them go. This is metaphorically speaking. I believe that we have the honor as well as the need to eat omega-3s. It may be a more accurate way of looking at partaking of the Lord's Supper. But whatever be your superstitions or religious practices, I'm here to just celebrate that we all came from the same stardust, ashes to ashes and dust to dust. It's basically saying the same thing. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. And that is Jacob's DNA, Jacob's ladder. You can trick yourself into believing that you won't reap the land that you sowed or the different things that you've done in the body. But for those that believe in washing things with the blood, that's another way of saying, somebody's already died for it. When you believe in that, you know that all is forgiven. As we move forward with a clear conscience, does not mean that there won't be consequences once people have realized and begin to teach themselves and make statements of power and clarification for themselves, to use their pendant, their pen, to be mighty like their sword. They say what they write, and they write what they say, and they mean it, and they act on it. They get others to act on it. They comprehend that they are one cell, an amoeba, duplicated over and over again. And if there's one thing wrong with the one cell, then it will affect the entire body. If the cell is purified, and it is, then the entire body is purified. And so my I, Valerie, is single. Therefore, my entire body is full of light. I can come and go as I please. I can house as many or as few as I wish and choose. As I take dominion first over my mind, then the physical house will follow. And so I invite you to do the same on your board of chess, to take control over all 32 pieces. The black and the white are yours. It is your chessboard. They are your squares. And so that is my evening encouragement to myself. Take control of the white queen in me, the black queen in me, and the black king in me, and the white king in me. Honor the pawns, the bishops, the rooks, and make it all be one inside of me with no quarrel. This is a game of observation. No chess pieces were hurt. I checked the mate, and the mate looks great. And so that is my mindset to move forward in this world with a figure of speech that is a fig unto God, worth God's consumption. May it quell the angry God in us all. Feed him more than just ice. Feed him more than equality's sake. Feed God something spicy, tantalizing. Did God not make it all? Can he not provide the next deer or sheep? Is God running out of things to do? Have we gotten to be such bad children that God could not control us? God forbid. It is only our ego that would believe that God would create a world and somehow it could get out of hand. His little ants, his little souls. We are atoms, so to speak, called it pests, insects, bugs. Who are these people in the natural 3D world? What are these Homo sapiens called? We're all saps. We all bear fruit of our mouth, of our lips. We give praise or we give condemnation. No one has to judge what we are saying out of our mouths. We hear it for ourselves. Our life speaks for itself. We just add to it the fine print when we speak. And so I want to magnify the creator of heaven and earth, the ability to imagine and to create, to paint, to dance. I step on the side of the arts as well as the science of life. I am genius. I am the Job, the oldest book, where the tempter came to evaluate the strength of the fortified Job, the relationship between Job and God, Job and God, Job and maybe even a dog, Job doing self-inquiry of, where are my loopholes? If the enemy were to come in, wouldn't that put an additional sense of connectivity with Job and his maker instead of the version where there's so much why and so much sarcasm and unanswered questions? It was Job's job to just let it go. But it is my job to understand the mysteries of the good, of the Creator. We all get to build it up or destruct. We get to construct, but you don't get to blame it on something outside of yourself. That is only your lack of ignorance and giving away your power. That is your prisoner of war. I don't study war anymore. I am of the arts and the science and the muse. I have poetic justice.